All right, guys, so you've got your basket to a good height and you are ready to start the outer wall. Well, how do we do that? So to start the outer wall, it doesn't matter which spoke you start on, but what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your spokes are good and wet so they're nice and flexible and won't break when you bend them. So you want to make sure that you soak your basket first ahead of time, especially up here right around the bins. You want to make sure like the top of your basket is nice and wet so that way these spokes don't break off on you during this process, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to bend them over. So the one in your left hand always goes under the one next to it on your right, okay? Just like that. You make a little loop. And when you make these little loops, you want to make sure that the spokes are sitting right on top of each other. Okay, so it's nice and pretty, right? So then you do the same thing. You're going to take the next spoke, and you're going to go underneath the spoke next to it. And it can get a little bit messy with all of these little spokes flying around everywhere, but as soon as you start to get them folded over, a few of them folded over, it won't be such a hassle, okay? So then bend the next one down, just like that. And you can make these this little decorative edge right here as tall or as short as you want it to be, okay? All right, so after you have one of them down, the first one that you tucked, you don't need to hold that one anymore, okay? Because it's trapped underneath this one, okay? So you can just hold on to one of them at a time. Just the last one that you did is the only one you really need to hold on to, okay? So then I'm going under the one next to it, bending it down. Okay, going under the one next to it, bending it down. Okay, and every time I go around, the other ones are getting held down by it. Okay, just keep going. Don't let yourself get confused by the spokes going down. You've got to keep in mind which spoke you're on. So this is the spoke going up, it goes behind the spoke next to it. Okay? Just keep pulling them down until you get all the way around your basket. All the way around. And you'll see when you make it all the way around on your last one, when you're on your last one, take it and tuck it underneath this one. Okay, so look, goes underneath here. Okay, going right through it. Okay, and then you pull that one. And make sure your layers are nice and flat. Okay, and after you have that last one, you'll notice that it holds in place pretty well. And that's how you do the top part of your basket. Okay, after you have all of the top coiled down like that, you're going to find where your last weaver ended. So for me, my last weaver ended right here. Okay, so that's my last weaver right here. And so that's where I want to start the outer wall of my basket weave. Okay, so I'm going to take a new weaver. And for the first weaver, I'm going to put it in right beside where my other weaver ended. Okay, let's see that. So my other weaver ended right here where my thumb is, and my new weaver is on the other side of it. Okay? So I'm going to take that new weaver, and now just like we were doing before with the spokes, the only difference now is that the spokes are going the other way, okay? So I'm going to take, this is my new spoke, my weaver going over the spoke, the one next to it going under that spoke, okay? And so I'm just going to continue that over-under pattern, over, under, until I go all the way around my basket. And that'll start to hold these new spines down, okay? And it's like we're building the same basket again, going up this way, all right? So the first couple layers around is what's really going to hold these spokes in place. And when you get them held in place, that's when you can really adjust, the height of them on top. And then you want to make sure that your spines coming up and down your basket are nice and straight. Okay? So you have to get these first couple layers around the basket to kind of hold that stuff in place first. Okay? And I will post lots of pictures to kind of show you guys what that looks like holding it in place. Okay? If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, just let me know, send me an email or reach out to me.